traditional dance.
Yes, kita berikan tepuk tangan yang sangat meriah untuk salah satu traditional dance atau tarian daerah yang ada di Sulawesi Tengah, di mana tarian ini untuk menyambut para tamu agung yang berada dalam sebuah perhelatan tentunya.
Ladies and gentlemen, please wait a round of applause for traditional dance.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom. Salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan. Selamat pagi para hadirin yang kami hormati serta peserta virtual. Sebuah kehormatan bagi kami berdua untuk hadir dan memandu acara pada pagi hari ini. Saya Arya Tanju dan rekan saya Lugi Giarinsa atas nama ICC Tech dan Aiko Sayat, kami ucapkan selamat datang untuk Anda semua. Terima kasih Anda telah meluangkan waktu Anda di tengah kesibukan Anda untuk hadir bersama kami di acara kali ini, dan kami berharap Anda semua bisa mendapatkan hal yang sangat berharga di hari ini.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is our pleasure to be a host for this conference. My name is Lugi Giarinsa and my partner Arya Tanju, and on behalf of ICC Tech and Aiko Sayat, we would like to extend a very warm welcome to all of you. We appreciate you taking your time off. We know you have your busy schedule, and we hope you will learn a lot today.
Tentunya untuk acara pagi hari ini kita mengangkat sebuah tema yang luar biasa.
Ya, betul sekali. And we would like to welcome you to the 2026 International Conference on Science in Information Technology,
in conjunction with the 2020 International Conference in Science in Engineering and Technology.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of big applause. Terima kasih. And ladies and gentlemen, the ICC Tech 2020 is hosted by University of Tadulako in collaboration with so many universities in Indonesia and all over the country.
Oke, acara ini diselenggarakan oleh Universitas Tadulako dan berkolaborasi dengan sejumlah universitas lainnya. Di antaranya adalah Universitas Pembangunan Nasional Veteran Jakarta, Universitas Teknologi Malaysia Big Data Center, Universitas Ahmad Dahlan,
Universitas Mula Warman, Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia, Universitas Muhammadiyah, Universitas Putra Malaysia,
Malaysia Sabah, Universitas Budi Luhur, dan Politeknik Negeri Samarinda, Politeknik Negeri Padang, Universitas Negeri Malang, Universitas Teknologi Malaysia Malaka, Universitas Muslim Indonesia, Universitas Singapura Bangsa, dan ITSA University of Columbia.
And this conference aims to keep us abreast of area of science in information technology, as well as providing an engagement platform for participants to share knowledge and expertise in related area.
Dan tentunya untuk konferensi ini bertujuan untuk mensejajarkan diri terhadap perkembangan dan inovasi terbaru dalam informasi teknologi, dan juga tentunya sebagai platform untuk mengajak para partisipan untuk berbagi pengetahuan dan pengalaman terkait dengan hal tersebut. Dan tema konferensi ICC Tech 2020 adalah Embracing Industry 4.0 Toward Innovation in Disaster Management. Konferensi ini juga bekerja sama dengan 2020 atau 2020 International Conference on Science in Information Technology.
Yeah, this conference is in conjunction with the 2020 International Conference on Science in Engineering and Technology, Aiko Sayat. Baiklah hadirin yang kami hormati, pada hari ini tentu ada serangkaian acara begitu yang akan kita lewati bersama dalam opening remarks of this event.
Betul. Dan tentunya sekali lagi Untuk acara ini, Bapak Ibu hadirin serta para peserta virtual ini bekerja sama dengan 2020 ICOSIAT yang merupakan konferensi internasional di bidang sains yang diaplikasikan pada bidang engineering dan teknologi.
Betul sekali, seperti tadi yang sudah kami sampaikan bahwa acara ini dipersembahkan oleh ICCTech yang menyelenggarakan konferensi internasionalnya yang ke-6. Kemudian bekerja sama juga dengan ICOSIAT yang menyelenggarakan konferensi internasional yang pertama.
Baik Bapak Ibu hadirin yang kami hormati serta peserta virtual, langsung saja kita akan sama-sama mendengarkan sambutan dari Chairman of ICCTech.
To begin this program, we are pleased to have a welcoming speech from the Chairman of ICCTech, Dr. Anita Ahmad Kasih.
Pindahkan ke sana.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The Honorable Minister of Communication and Informatics, Mr. Joni Gerard Plate, the Honorable the Governor of Sulawesi Tengah, or the representative, the Honorable the Mayor of Kota Palu, or the representative, the Honorable Rector of Tadulako University, or the representative, and all the Vice Rector of Tadulako University, the Honorable Senate of Tadulako University, or the representative, the Honorable the Keynote Speakers, the Honorable the Head of Ministry of Communication and Informatics Sulawesi Tengah, Ibu Farida Ramarauna, the Honorable the Dean in Tadulako University, and the Honorable the Dean of Faculty of Engineering, Dr. Eng Andirudin STMP MSc, and all the Vice Dean of Faculty of Engineering, and all the lecturers of Tadulako University and the Committee of ICCTech. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi.
Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Praise to Allah Subhanahu wa taala for health and today's opportunity to attend this conference. On behalf of organizing committee, I would like to say welcome to the 2020, the 6th International Conference on Science and Information Technology ICCTech, and thank you to all invitations who have been present at this venue or online. Ladies and gentlemen, this conference is hosted by Tadulako University in collaboration with University Pembangunan Nasional Veteran Jakarta, University Teknologi Malaysia Big Data Center, Universitas Ahmad Dahlan Yogyakarta, Universitas Mula Warman, Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia, Universitas Muhammadiyah Surakarta, University Putra Malaysia, University Malaysia Sabah, Universitas Budi Luhur, Politeknik Negeri Samarinda, Politeknik Negeri Padang, Universitas Negeri Malang, University Teknikal Malaysia Melaka, Universitas Muslim Indonesia, Universitas Singapura Bangsa, and ITSA University Columbia. Due to the concern around the coronavirus COVID-19 and in accordance with health guidance from the WHO and other health authorities, travel restriction and general uncertainty, the ICCTech 2020 conference will be held by online presentation on October 21 to 22nd October 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, this conference is intended as a venue for presentation and discussion of research from both academia and industry, and a range of exciting and timely topics in information technology, computer science, computational intelligence, data warehouse, and related fields. This conference is IEEE conference so that paper accepted and presented will be forwarding for consideration to be published in IEEE Indonesia section. Thank you to IEEE. So we are also thanks to our keynote speaker, Mr. Yasushi Kanazawa, from Associate Professor of Computer Science and Engineering at Toyohashi University at Technology IC Japan, and Mr. Lala Septem Riza PhD from Department of Computer Science Education, Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia, Bandung, Indonesia. Ladies and gentlemen, this year the 6th ICC-TEC conference received 93 papers submission from 11 countries such as Indonesia, Colombia, Malaysia, Czech Republic, USA, United Arab Emirates, United Kingdom, Pakistan, Rwanda, and South Korea. But only 40 papers were accepted for online presentation. So the acceptance ratio is 43.5%. We are very grateful for the extensive effort of many individuals who worked diligently to ensure a successful and high quality conference. We would like to thank to IEEE Indonesia, ASCE Association, Technical Program Committee, and Faculty of Engineering Tadulako University for supporting this event. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we would like to say welcome to ICC-TEC 2020. Congratulations for your paper has been accepted. We invite all participants to actively participate in the conference activity to learn from one another. Thank you for choosing ICC-TEC as your conference reference. We hope to have your present support and participation in the next year, 2021 7 ICC-TEC. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dr. Anita Ahmad Kasih yang sudah menyampaikan sambutannya seperti yang disampaikan tadi, Ugi, 11 negara yang dilibatkan dalam acara virtual kita pada hari ini.
Ya, dan seperti yang sudah disampaikan tadi juga oleh Dr. Anita, beliau berterima kasih begitu sudah memilih untuk mengikuti seminar internasional dari ICOSIAT dan juga ICC-TEC yang dilaksanakan pada hari ini.
Di tengah kesibukan beliau semua ini ya, yang hadir pada pagi hari ini. Dan selanjutnya Lugi dan juga para hadirin serta peserta virtual, kita akan sama-sama mendengarkan sambutan dari Chairman of ICOSIAT.
Then we would like to invite to the stage for the next welcoming speech to the Chairman of ICOSIAT, Dr. Rifai Martin. Please welcome.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Your honorable guests. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm sorry, I have to take out my glasses. On behalf of the committee, I am pleased to welcome you to the first international conference on science, engineering, and technology, or we call it ICOSIAT. The 2020 ICOSIAT is an international conference that covers science, applied engineering, technology, and this ICOSIAT will be held from today, 21st of October, until tomorrow, 22nd October 2020 in Palu, Indonesia. This conference is hosted by University Tadulako, Faculty of Engineering, and jointly organized with the Association for Scientific Computing, Electronic and Engineering, or RC. Within this group, we have University Islam Alauddin Makassar, University Negeri Malang, University Mula Warman, University Muslim Indonesia, dan University Lambung Mangkurat. This conference falls under the IOP conference, and all paper accepted and presented will be forwarded for the consideration to be published in IOP Material Science and Engineering. Of course, I would like to thank for the keynote speakers. We have Professor Dr. Zhen Jiangsen, from Environmental Design, Natural Science and Technology in Kanazawa University, Japan. I will also address my thankful for Professor Dr. Richard Suizas from Department of Urban and Regional Planning, Special Faculty ITC on University of Twente, Enschede, Netherlands. We have the third keynote speaker, Professor Yandi Andriyatmo, PhD, from Department of Architecture, Faculty of Engineering, University Indonesia. Professor Ahmad Akbar Ali, the Department of Architecture, University Tadulako. And last but not least, our lovely guest Diana Contreras Mojica from Newcastle University, England. And of course, we have a very interesting first keynote speaker, Mr. Johnny Gerard Play, Ministry of Informatics and Communication of Indonesia. This is an honor to have you here as our inspiration. This year, ICOSIAT conference received 110 papers submitted from 106 countries in the world. We have some from Bangladesh, China, Colombia, Germany, Hong Kong, India, of course Indonesia. We have from Iraq, Japan, Jordan, Peru, Philippines, Russia, Saudi Arabia, Thailand, United Kingdom, United States, and also our neighboring country, Vietnam. But although we have so many submissions, apparently only 68 papers were accepted for online presentation today and tomorrow, with the acceptance ratio falls under 65%. We are very grateful for the extensive effort of many individuals who work hard for this time. It ensures a successful and high quality conference. We only have 65% ratio. It means it's good, very good quality. On behalf of the committee, I would like to thank ASI, IPO, TPC Committee, and Faculty of Engineering Tadulako University for supporting this event. Once again, I would like to say welcome to ICOSIAT 2020. Congratulations on your paper. It has been accepted. We invite all the participants to actively participate in this conference and active to learn one another. And of course, I also have gratitude. So many experts have come to share their knowledge. I also welcome the many representatives of government, including local government, education institutions, and NGOs who have joined us. I'm sure you will have fruitful and rewarding exchange in the next 2 days. I wish you every successful with this important conference, and I look forward to learning about the outcome. Thanks for choosing ICOSIAT as your conference reference, and we hope to have your pleasant support and participation in the next year. We will have the second ICOSIAT for 2021. On behalf of the committee, I, as General Chair of ICOSIAT, would like to say, let's have this conference and let the memory remain. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you so much, the Chairman of ICOSIAT, Dr. N. Rifai Martin.
Baik, baru saja kita mendengarkan sambutan dari Chairman of ICOSIAT, Dr. N. Rifai Martin, dan tentunya Ugi kita juga akan terus bersama-sama di sini sampai kurang lebih 2 jam ke depan.
Ya, betul sekali. Tadi juga Dr. Rifai juga sempat menyatakan begitu kita memiliki a very important keynote speaker pada hari ini. It is very interesting, of course, dan very impressive karena beliau bisa bergabung nanti bersama dengan kita. It is the Minister of Communication and Information of Indonesia, tentunya Menteri Joni Gerard Plate.
Betul. Baik, Bapak Ibu hadirin yang kami hormati serta peserta virtual yang saat ini sedang menyaksikan dan bergabung bersama kami, selanjutnya kita akan sama-sama mendengarkan sambutan dari Dekan Fakultas Teknik Universitas Tadulako.
Then we would like to invite the Dean of Faculty Engineering, Dr. and Insinyur Andi Ruskin, STMT MSc.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi, salam sejahtera, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, dan salam kebajikan. First of all, I would like to thank Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala who has been giving us blessing and mercies so we can attend this online international conference in good health. My salawat and salam are always given to our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, who has taught their people respectively in order to attain happy and prosperous life in this world and after. My peace upon us. Selamat pagi. Your Excellency, Ministry of Communication and Information of Republik Indonesia, Mr. Joni Gerard Plate, the Honorable Chair of IEEE of Indonesian Section, Professor Dr. of Engineering Wisnu Chatmiko, the Honorable Governor of Central Sulawesi Province, represented by Mrs. Farida Lamarauna, Head of Department of Communication and Information of Central Sulawesi Province, the Honorable the Mayor of Palu City, represented by Advisor of Palu City Mayor for Economical Affairs, Mrs. Juliana Firman Esos MSc. And also I would like to express thanks to our President of Alumni Association of Engineering Faculty, Mr. Gufran, thank you for your coming. And of course, the Honorable Director of Tadulako University, represented by the Vice Rector of Learning and Cooperation, Professor Ahmad. And I will mention one by one our Honorable guests. First, the Dean of Medicine Faculty, Dr. Sadil, the Dean of Faculty of Forestry, Dr. Adam Malik, the Dean of Faculty of Mathematical and Science, Ibu Darmawati PhD, and also the Dean of Agriculture Faculty, Mr. Dr. Muhardi. Thank you for your coming. And I would like to thank the chairman of the 2026 International Conference of Science and Information Technology, Dr. Adita Kasim. Thank you for preparing this conference. And also the chairman of the 2020 International Conference of Science in Engineering and Technology, Doctor of Engineering, Rifai Mami, Ohio Gozaimasu. And all participants and guest speakers who attend this conference. Ladies and gentlemen, I am very pleased and honored to have this opportunity to welcome you to the 2026 International Conference of Science in Information and Technology and the 2020 International Conference on Science in Engineering and Technology. It is hosted by Faculty of Engineering and mainly organized by Department of Information Technology and Department of Architecture of Tadulako University. As the Dean of the Faculty of Engineering at Untitled University, I wish to extend a warm welcome to colleagues from various countries. Both conferences are fully carried out by the online due to the COVID-19 pandemic. This is the first time for us that conferences are held online, and we hope that everything will run well as we expected. In this special moment, I also want to thank to all keynote speakers. Firstly, Professor Sen Tian-sen from Kanazawa University, Japan, Professor Dr. Richard Slaus from Twente University, the Netherlands, Professor Dr. Johannes Widodo from University of Singapore in Singapore, Professor Yandi Andiyatno, PhD from University of Indonesia. And also we happy that we have a keynote speaker for Erlang University, Professor Ahmad Akbar Ali. And for the Information Technology Conference, we have Yasushi Kanazawa, PhD from Toyohashi University of Technology from Japan, and Lala Sektan Risa, PhD from Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia. And the last keynote is Dr. Diana Contreras Mojica, Newcastle University from UK. Thank you very much for your time and your willing to deliver knowledge to us. Nowadays, the information technology become essential needs for people and community. All businesses and services now oriented toward optimization of managing big data, delivering information, and carrying out industrial process. Especially in the coronavirus situation, that some of work must be done by implementing information technology. Now we are in the era of Industrial 4.0, where the information technology is rapidly growing. Therefore, we need to understand the current and future development of the information technology. To the Engineering Technology Conference, we know that the science in engineering and technology is facing new situation right now. We realize that we need green technology to reduce pollution, global warming impact, climate change that resulting in meteorological disasters such as flood, drought, and storm. The sustainable energy must be developed that fulfill our energy consumption, especially in our city Palu. We need technology to help reduce risk of earthquake, tsunami, and liquefaction. There are many challenges that must be solved together by engineers and scientists. We need to work together on better solutions for the better life. Finally, I wish that this occasion can enhance our knowledge and newly discoveries of technology and the rapid field of application. And also, this gathering enable the building of a productive dialogue between participants of different nationalities. It is also a valuable opportunity for networking and fruitful contact among international institutions. I also want to appreciate for all committee for both conference who worked hard for preparing and managing this conference. And finally, I want to appreciate all parties that I cannot mention one by one who give contribution for this conference. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much for the Dean of Faculty Engineering of University of Tadulako.
Dr. and Insinyur Andi Rusdi, STMT, MSc. Baik, Bapak Ibu hadirin yang kami hormati serta peserta virtual, sebelum kita lanjutkan acara ini, kami kembali ingin mengingatkan Anda selama acara ini berlangsung, Anda berada dalam gedung ini, kami mohon kesediaannya untuk tetap mengikuti protokol kesehatan, Anda tetap menggunakan masker Anda selama acara ini berlangsung, dan tetap jaga jarak Anda.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, during this pandemic of COVID-19, we would like to remind you to still put up your mask and keep your distance to one another.
Dan selanjutnya kita akan mendengarkan sambutan dari Rektor Universitas Tadulako, di mana akan diwakili oleh Wakil Rektor 4.
Ladies and gentlemen, now we want to invite the Rector of University of Tadulako who will be presented by the fourth Vice Rector. Please welcome Professor Dr. Amar Akbar Ali, SPMP.
Before I begin the speech, I would like to convey the best regard from the Site Chancellor of Tadulako University, an apology from him for not being to attend this moment because there is another agenda and he represented me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good morning to you all the greeting kindness, and I would like to say welcome to 2020. I can sit and I proceed for this moment. Honorable Head of Department Informatics and Communication, Provinsi Sulawesi Tengah, Ms. Farida Amarana, Honorable Represent the Major Palu is the moment, and the Honorable, especially for all Dean from University Tadulako yang attend today, and especially Dean of Faculty of Engineering, Tadulako University, Mr. Dr. Engineer Andi Rusdin, Honorable Al-Faiz Din, Honorable as Conference ICI Chairman, Dr. Adita Bakri, and Conference Associate Engineer Refinery PhD, Honorable Al Engineering Department, Al Study Program Coordinator, Al Lecturer, Al Scientific Academy Tadulako University, and especially Academy in Engineering Faculty, and Honorable the President of Alumni Engineering, and Honorable of Professional Associate is attending today. Excellency, the keynote speakers on the online 6th International Conference of the Science Information Technology (ICTech) and the International Conference on Science in Engineering and Technology (ECOSAI) 2020 today. This is Professor Yasushi Kanazawa from Computer Science and Engineering at Toyohashi University Technology, Aichi, Japan. Lala Septem Riza PhD from Department of Computer Science Education, Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia UP Bandung, Indonesia. Professor Dr. Zhen Xiangchen from Faculty of Geoscience and Environmental Design, Institute of Science and Engineering, Kanazawa University, Japan. Professor Dr. Ricard Silvas from Department of Urban and Regional Planning and Geoinformation Management, Twente University, Netherlands. Professor Yandi Andriyatmo, PhD from Department of Architecture, University of Indonesia, and Dr. Diana Maria Mojica from Newcastle University, London. And the specially excellency invite speaker today, Mr. Johnny Gerard Plate, as Minister of Informatics and Communication, Indonesian Republic, and Professor Dr. Engineering Wisnu Jatmiko as the Chair of Institute and Electrical Engineering, IEEE. Distinguished guests, all organizing committee and participants in this virtual international conference. They are from Colombia, Malaysia, Czech Republic, United States of America, United Arab Emirates, United Kingdom, Great Britain, Pakistan, Rwanda, South Korea, and Indonesia for FATEK, and Bangladesh, China, Colombia, Germany, Hong Kong, India, Iraq, Japan, Jordan, Peru, Philippines, Russia, Saudi Arabia, Thailand, United Kingdom, United States, Vietnam, and of course Indonesia for ICOSIAN. That I highly appreciate and welcome to virtual conference today. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, let's pray and thanks to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, who has been giving us some mercies and blessings so we can attend and gather this online seminar in good condition and happy situation. My salawat and salam are well given to our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who has taught their people respectively in order to attain happy and propitious life in this world and hereafter. It is my pleasure to welcome the keynote speaker to deliver knowledge and share their experience in ICTech and Ecoscience 2020. This conference is proudly organized by Engineering Faculty, Tarlaka University, as host and joint host with Association for Scientific Computing Electrical Engineering, ICCE, domestic and foreign universities. I appreciate for effort conducted by Faculty of Engineering. Ladies and gentlemen, at the moment, I wish a happy 37th Anniversary of Engineering Faculty of Tadlako, which coincides with 20th of October this month. The exactly is yesterday, I think. Currently, Engineering Faculty at Tadlako University is an atmosphere of a different education kind that is previous year. This difference is very noticeable in the learning process or teaching and learning activity that require us to use online system. Even so, academic conditions must continue to be created both by teacher and by learners. In this case, our students that we love. Our university throughout the world are no exception. Indonesia is feeling the effect of the coronavirus disease COVID-19 pandemic, but it doesn't preclude an activity that has been professionally planned. Both of them, which are the virtual 6th International Conference on Science International Technology (ICITech) and the International Conference on Science, Engineering and Technology (ICOSIT 2020) that are taking place here today. Tadlaka University is university with a vision to become an international standard university in the development of environmental science and technology. This conference aims to be medium for researchers and scientists to share knowledge in the field of computer science or informatics, artificial intelligence, and big data computing. We also hope that this conference can be motivation for researchers and scientists to publish their idea and research in international forum. If we open our eyes wide, we will see significant change in very line hour of life, especially in the field of science, engineering, and technology, which of course has an impact on the condition of world economic development. During this pandemic, the existence of science, engineering, and technology has become an integrated approach is resolving the challenges and threats that call. Science and engineering and technology innovation, particularly information technology, have a significant impact in maintaining sustainable development. Last but not least, this phenomenon becomes a very important basis that underlies the theme of the online international conference this moment. I hope that with the present available presenter in their respective field can broaden our insight. How to improve and enriching science, engineering and technology in digital era 4.0, especially in the era of the COVID pandemic. Ladies and gentlemen, finally, and on behalf of Rector Tadulako University and the name of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, by saying Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, I open officially the virtual 6th International Conference on Science and Information Technology and International Conference on Science and Engineering and Technology 2020. And congratulations to all to gain so much knowledge as you can today, virtual conference, international conference. Thank you very much for your kind attention and welcome. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Profesor Dr. Amar Akbar Ali STMT yang merupakan wakil rektor 4 mewakili rektor Universitas Tadulako pada pagi hari ini. Baik, sekali lagi kami tetap mengingatkan Anda untuk tetap menggunakan masker, menjaga jarak dan mengikuti protokol kesehatan kita pada acara pada pagi hari ini.
Yes, of course, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to remind you during this pandemic to still put up your mask and keep your distance to keep us safe from one another. Thank you.
And next, kita akan sama-sama mendengarkan sambutan dari pembicara utama kita pada pagi hari ini, yaitu Menteri Komunikasi dan Informasi Republik Indonesia.
Ladies and gentlemen, moving right along, it is now our pleasure to introduce you to one of our keynote speaker, and we would like you to see this video, which is contain a speech from our keynote speaker, a Minister of Informatics and Communication of Indonesia Republic, Mr. Johnny Gerard Plate.
Selamat menyaksikan.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Distinguished guests, presenters, and participants, I hope all of you are in a good health and in high spirit. First, I would like to convey my appreciation to Universitas Tadulako for hosting and convening 2 international conferences amidst the COVID-19 pandemic. I hope the 2020th International Conference on Science in Engineering and Technology and the 6th International Conference on Science in Information Technology can contribute to the explorations of potential and significant Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Distinguished guests, presenters, and participants, I hope all of you are in a good health and in high spirit. First, I would like to convey my appreciation to Universitas Tadulako for hosting and convening two international conferences amidst the COVID-19 pandemic. I hope the 2020th International Conference on Science in Engineering and Technology and the 6th International Conference on Science in Information Technology can contribute to the explorations of potential and significance of information and digital technologies. Two significant situations are happening simultaneously. While the world is facing a pandemic that has altered various aspects of life, the challenges stemming from this pandemic should not hinder our progress, as equally we are also in the midst of a massive technological and digital revolutions, the Industrial Revolutions 4.0. According to Klaus Schwab, who popularized Industrial Revolutions 4.0, this era is characterized by a fusion of technologies that blur the lines between physical, digital, and biological spheres. This revolution also paves the way for higher utilizations of new technologies, such as artificial intelligence, cloud computing, and the Internet of Things. Such technological leverage will provide us with the necessary solutions to address various societal issues and help us recover and rebuild the economy. In reinforcing the fourth industrial revolution's transformative spirit and to solve societal problems, Japan introduced the notions of Society 5.0. This concept focuses on a human-centered way of living that incorporates current innovations to resolve various industry and social life challenges. This concept also shows that with the right approach, technologies can ease people's lives and foster our society's development. Indonesia will also experience a demographic dividend as the amount of the workforce and productive ages is predicted around 64% of total populations. With such circumstance, we will be able to leap as far as Japan in realizing the notions of Society 5.0, despite the different context of demographic structure. Guests, ladies and gentlemen, the government of Indonesia believes that the Industrial Revolution 4.0 and Society 5.0 are not just buzzwords. These are realities that Indonesia faces and aim to achieve, which challenge is shared with many other countries. In moving forward with these digital visions, the government has set its priorities to accelerate the nation's digital transformations. Such accelerations will focus on these following aspects. Firstly, developing information and communication technology, ICT. Secondly, progressing the adoptions of new technologies and the creations of the needed digital ecosystem. Thirdly, improving outstanding digital talents. And fourth, passing the primary legislations in communications, informatics, and data protections. In strengthening international cooperations also remains high on the policy agenda, as we aim to enhance collaboration on the digital economy and cross-border data flows. Indonesia also pays special attention to data safety and sovereignty by further recalling the principle of lawfulness, fairness, transparency, and the principle of reciprocity. Through these initiatives, the government of Indonesia envisioned to accelerate digital transformations to achieve a just and inclusive digital society as a manifestation of the national visions of advanced Indonesia in 2045. Noting the urgency for fast and reliable connectivity, the government also promotes inclusivity and increased internet link ratio, such as through the deployment of the 4G infrastructure in 12,548 villages to complete 83,218 villages across the country, which is set for completion in 2022. Under the scheme of public-private partnership, in the third quarter of 2023, Indonesia will also launch the high-throughput satellite Satria-1 into orbit, which will provide internet access in 150,000 public facilities to support education, health, and local government across the nation. To further enhance the digital ecosystem, the government is also aiming to complete the development of the national telecommunication monitoring facilities for bandwidth management and the national data centers to support electronic government. Guests, ladies, and gentlemen, it is important to note that these accelerations and transformations efforts must be made with the right hearts and minds. In realizing the grand visions of making Indonesia 4.0, it is necessary to put the core belief that we need to be the inventor, investor, and innovator of our own for the benefit of the people of Indonesia. With such a spirit, I believe we can play an essential role in the global value chain in the future. Inventions, innovations, and investing need to be enabled by rigorous research capacities. And this is where academics and scholars play their roles. Research is the key to progress. Strong research and development bases can foster digitizations and productivity. A study conducted by McKinsey in 2016 suggests that digitizations can optimize operations in various industrial sectors and at $120 to 150 billion to Indonesia GDP by 2025. COVID-19 certainly will also push even higher. We now live in an era where everything counts as data. We need people who are good with data. And this is the area that academics can contribute. Indonesia needs your distinguished minds and skills to seize our country's potentials and turns it into something productive, something beneficial to prosper the nations. Distinguished guests, presenters, and participants, in doing so, the government of Indonesia believes in the spirit of synergized collaborations, or as we call in our own language, the spirit of gotong royong, to meet nations' objectives. Therefore, I will use this opportunity to call for actions all academic boards, presenters, and participants in this conference to promote digital Indonesia. In this regard, I will also reaffirm the government of Indonesia's commitment to facilitate and accelerate the creations of a robust research and development ecosystem in Indonesia. May all of us stay in the right heart, mind, visions for pursuits of our respective country. I thank you and have a good day for everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Baik, dan selanjutnya tentunya kami akan mempersilahkan kepada Anda untuk masing-masing memisahkan diri atau mengikuti tempat Anda untuk Zoom room meeting Anda masing-masing di acara pada pagi hari ini. Dan tentunya sebentar untuk ICOSAYED ini sendiri akan ada Profesor Dr. Amar Akbar Ali STMT dan juga nanti moderator conference adalah Dr. Samsul.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, after this we will start the conference. And for ICC Tech, we would like to ask you to please now join to your Zoom meeting. And then for ICOSAYED, we will start the conference with Professor Dr. Amar Akbar Ali STMT for the keynote session. Please welcome Professor Dr. Amar Akbar Ali STMT. And for the moderator of the conference today, we would like to invite to the stage Dr. Samsul. Please welcome Dr. Samsul. Dr. Samsul akan menjadi moderator dari keynote session dari ICOSAYED pada pagi hari ini, di mana yang akan menjadi pembicara utama atau keynote speaker dari ICOSAYED adalah Profesor Dr. Amar Akbar Ali STMT.
Baik, sekali lagi kepada seluruh peserta Zoom peserta virtual dan juga yang berada di gedung atau di Hotel Santika ini. Sekali lagi Anda dipersilakan untuk mengambil Zoom room meeting Anda masing-masing untuk mengikuti virtual meetingnya, dan tentunya kita akan tetap mengingatkan kepada Anda untuk terus jangan pernah lepas masker Anda, teruslah menggunakan masker Anda selama acara ini berlangsung.
Yes, of course, and then again and again, we would like to remind you to still put up your mask and keep your distance as long as the event go on. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we also providing you with coffee session.
Yes.
Jadi misalnya ada yang mau coffee break, bisa langsung ke depan aja.
Ya, untuk makanan atau juga minumannya sudah tersedia di dalam gedung ini, juga bisa Anda ambil juga untuk dinikmati. Dan sekali lagi, akhirnya kami akan menutup seremoni ini, kemudian akan dilanjutkan dengan virtual conference yang dipandu langsung oleh moderator kita,
Dr. Samsul.
Betul, sekali lagi selamat mengikuti acara kita The 2026 International Conference on Science in Information Technology in conjunction with the 2020 International Conference in Science in Engineering and Technology.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is our pleasure. Thank you very much for inviting us to host this event, and we would like you to enjoy the International Conference of ICC Tech in conjunction with ICOScience 2020.
Dan akhirnya saya Arya Tanju.
Dan saya Lundi Gerita.
Sampai ketemu di acara berikutnya. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi dan selamat mengikuti conference virtual kita pada pagi hari ini. Terima kasih.
Jadi apa saja jauh bedanya. Oh, kalau tidak memang yang hari kita pelajarinya tidak dia dulu. Tolong ya, soalnya ini kan oh iya. Karena apa namanya untuk stick itu moderatornya di luar. Ya, sama di Malang. Jadi tidak ada masalah jadi. Oh iya. Ini bisa yang mana? Berdiri di video, sudah duduk. Iya. Dia zoom. Zoom. Gimana? Zoom anu saja Prof Amar di atas. Terus sudah dulu nanti.
Tidak ada selama dia berdiri sih.
Karena nanti sesi tanya jawab beliau. Nanti dulu. Oh, siap. Boleh begitu? Boleh. Ini kursi jangan kelihatan. Kursi mana?
Ini live Pak.
Tidak diulat ke pribadi dulu kelihatan iya sekali di sini. Kali sini ini. Satu kursi. Sebenarnya sedikit lagi. Perbaiki. Kameranya ke sana. Bisa. Begitu otomatis Di mana mau diambil pertama? Sini kuliah. Lurus itu. Moderat.
Tanya jawab kan?
Boleh? Oke. Mana suratnya?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dan selamat siang. I would like to invite Profesor Dr. Amar.
Sudah mulai dulu begini.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, for the following session, Prof. Amar will deliver to us a presentation which is related to the earthquake and tsunami incident on 28 September to 2018 in Palu, and with topic how really are the temporary evacuation shelter or TES enrolls during the September 2018 earthquake based on survivor preference. But before that, let me first introduce and inform you the CV curriculum vitae of our keynote speaker, Professor Amar. His complete name, Professor Dr. Insinyur Amar ST, MT, IPU, Asian Engineer. He was born in Ujung Pandang on July 14, 1968. Still young, still very young. He is now a lecturer of engineering, architect, urban and regional planning of engineering faculty of Tadulako University. Educational background: Bachelor of Building Engineering in Pendidikan Ahli Teknik PAT, Tadulako University, Palu in August 1990. Undergraduate of Architectural Engineering at the Engineering Faculty of Samratulangi University in Manado in August 1993. Master in Urban and Regional Planning Engineering at the Postgraduate Program Bandung Institute of Technology (ITB) in June 2000. Doctor of Civil Engineering in the field of Urban Planning at the Postgraduate Program of Hasanuddin University in Makassar in 2012. And the last, Professor in 2018 in the field of Regional Development, Settlement and Environmental. Work position history: from 1993 up to now, he is a lecturer in Urban and Regional Planning Study Program Architecture, Faculty of Engineering, Tadulako University. 1999 to 2000, the second chairperson of Administer Parallel afternoon class, Faculty of Engineering, University of Tadulako. 2000 to 2001, Vice Chairman of the parallel class afternoon of the University of Engineering, Tadulako University. 2001-2003, is Secretary of Architecture Department, Faculty of Engineering, Tadulako University. 2012 to 2014, is the chairperson of the Ruang Journal Management, Department of Architect, Faculty of Engineering, Tadulako University. 2015 to 2019, is the Dean of Faculty of Engineering, Tadulako University. And the last 2019 to 2023, he is now being Vice Rector for Development and Cooperation Institution of Tadulako University. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure that we will get additional excellent knowledge from him, from Professor Aman, and for that, I'd like to invite him to deliver of his presentation. Mr. Professor, time is yours.
Thank you very much. The moderator is my best friend, Dr. Samsul Arifin. Thanks for time for me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning to you all. For today, I am very happy and proud. This is the second time for me to take a keynote speaker at the international seminar. And this time, I would like to big thanks for my team, to the research. Yes, Mr. Rifai Mardi, Mr. Alifi Yunar, and Mrs. Mimi Asri Rahman. They are the team of the Simple Research. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to know, I think the title of the presentation today, they are how ready we are, the temporary evacuation shelter test and routes during the September 2018 earthquake based on surveyors' preference. I know this is the simple research, but I think it's the very deeply research. And then the research is very important to provide recommendation to our government about how the need to prepare or mitigation, especially for response and the tsunami hazard. I think this is one of result of our result today. Okay. I think this is maybe I think most of us just hear about the term like the test. What the test? It means as a temporary evacuation shelter. It's a very connected with especially the tsunami hazard. I think. Okay, I think this is the background first. I think you can next slide. First of all, I think we can the same our knowledge about tsunami disaster prevention. Excuse me, I will say. First of all, we can now, as the standard in dealing with the tsunami risk, Indonesia has produced several tsunami risk instruction, including there are three important early. The important first is the early warning system, and the temporary evacuation shelter and evacuation route. In this moment, we are in our research, we are focused about the test. This is the temporary evacuation road. During the tsunami disaster 2018, there have been identified people who serve themselves to the test. Based on their knowledge, the test location they were made for also failure. They are very close about the test. Their preference will be an interesting study for our, especially to see their preference for choosing the test. It's also essential to consider whether the selected test can qualify or not. We know we stay in the location area, the special coastal area in Palu. He's not won the test before and after the tsunami disaster. I think. Continue, please. What's the aim of the study here? The study aim, they are two kinds. First, aim to identify the readiness of the community, especially the survivors, on selecting the test in the case of the Palu 2018 tsunami. This during tsunami. And secondly, is identify the understanding in test after disaster. We can find to combine the first during and after the disaster. This is very important to give information about that. And I think this research is continue maybe next year how to increase the test location. Next. This is the I think this is the Palu Convention 2018. We can see that the source of the most active earthquake comes from Palu Koro, located just above the Palu Koro fault. Palu is above the Palu Koro fault. This is the other research about that. Palu City, which is the provincial capital, Central Sulawesi Province, and as the one of the national activity center in the RTRW service PKN, Pusat Kegiatan Nasional. Yes. Become the most population, modern population Palu, more than 380,000 more, I think, approximately, the statistic of multi-percent. Next. This is the information about Palu. How about information first, the background about the tsunami disaster history or paleo of the tsunami in Palu. Historical, the earthquake followed by tsunami Palu Bay. Already there are 5 historical disasters, especially for the tsunami area. First of all is the Wakusampu earthquake, December 1st, 1927, 15 meter high is tsunami. This is the first information about it. And the second, Donggala earthquake on May 20, 1938. The tsunami high is 4 meters, west coast of Palu Bay. And the third, Tambung earthquake, this Mapaga earthquake on August 15, 1988, with magnitude 6.5 Richter scale. This tsunami is 10 meters in Tambung village. And the next Tonggolo-Bibi earthquake on January 1st, 1996. A tsunami is more than 4 meters high. And the last one is Palu earthquake in September 28, 2018. Very high tsunami, approximately 3 to 16 meters. This is very important for us, how to protect and how to care the survivor people after tsunami. The research is about especially on this tsunami, not the other kind of the disaster. This is focused in the tsunami disaster. Next, please. Okay. How to better prepare about the tsunami hazard like this one? There are two considerations. The first, concluding the history of earthquake and tsunami, the disaster can be repeated in the future. We can see that we are already 20 years, 10 years, maybe 50 years. This is the country. Learning from the previous tsunami in Palu and learning Aceh, Japan tsunami and from the news, communities of local government already got some idea of self-rescue mission. I think this is the point of the result. And then, but all this learning process about how led the community of the correct evacuation process. This is to better prepare about the history of the tsunami in Palu area. Continue, next. And then, first of all, we want to know, what is the test? What is the temporary evacuation? This is very important for us because some in the RTRW Palu or RTW province Sulawesi process only about the finally evacuation shelter, not to accommodate about the temporary evacuation shelter. This is very important to us. One from natural disaster preparedness, including tsunami, is safe temporary evacuation shelter. The main point is temporary. This is not finally or center of the evacuation shelter. This is temporary. Study on the test have been conducted by some researchers, such as the Armenian researcher. Tests for tsunami are essentially building with strong structure. This is the first. The test is essentially building with strong structure that can withstand earthquake and have higher floor and can withstand flood level above tsunami level. This is maybe in the 16 meter, maybe for 20 meter, but is higher floor and strong structure. We can see like the figure here. Yeah? Maybe approximately more than 16, 15 or maybe 20 meters above the test. This is small, not this big, the big area or the big place. Yeah? This is only the small place above the test. We can unlike evacuation center or final evacuation, this is the difference about the test and the FAST, yeah? Final evacuation center, where people can stay longer and use them until relay. This final, but evacuation, test is not longer. Only a time after the tsunami is not come here, you can back in home, I think. Yeah. Test is a temporary space for the people to save themselves just before disaster strike immediately. Similar to flash flood, like banjir bandang or terjadi penaikan ombak dan lain sebagainya. This flash flood. Evacuation time windows are very limited for tsunami disaster. Evacuation center or the long-term evacuation center cannot be easily accessed within 5 minutes after the initial evacuation is accommodated. This is very different about two kind of the final evacuation shelter and temporary evacuation shelter. Another thing to note, this refugees are usually on foot. This is very close with the coastal bay. Yes, I think it's not too far. The next one. Spare travel less across in short period. This is essential plan to deal with catastrophic event. This is decided research about that. I think this is the clue of the what can different about the test and the test. Okay. Next. And then second, we can know about the evacuation rate. I think this is very connected with the test and evacuation rate. This is the several methods and models have already been developed to simulate the evacuation of people living average area. with the primary goal to defining problem and can occur the time evacuation. We can see maybe in Palu there are many signs about the evacuation area. You can walk out to you get the final evacuation area. Sometimes it's a sign, it says rambu-rambu, yes, to go after tsunami or disaster, yes. Like this is evacuation area. And in the planning rule, they have signed the route about the evacuation area. I think this is very simple to know about evacuation area. But how, this is a very important one. Next, okay. This is our study area in our research. We call it is silabeta. What is silabeta? Silabeta is Silai, Lele, Besusu Barat, and Talise. This collected he said is silabeta, you know? Yes. Why this is study area? First of all, the area is considerably except rich is right the core of the bay. This is very close, and the high population area here. Yeah, it has the highest population and the initial location of the urban area, especially for Lere, Substrik, and the Susubara is a large plain formed by alluvial estuary from Palu River. And the last one is according to measure of the Palu, the highest tsunami across the area, which take is more than 1,000 lives. This is the study of our research about it. Next, okay. What is the method? There are only two kind of questions. The big question about the method here. The study uses effort mapping and method. There are two main questions. The first is to understand the surface prevent test location during the tsunami. This is during time. And then secondly, they understand the tsunami evacuation after disaster. We now to different about that. Continue. Okay. Next. This is the kind of the question. There are two big phenomena for understanding of tsunami evacuation to test during the disaster. We asked the respondent to how to know about the during disaster, about the tsunami understanding about the test. And then after disaster, waiting to answer the question. Do they understand their location related to the tsunami prone area to carry out the tsunami evacuation process? This is the first answer to them. And the location during, I think this is to explain about the question. And the second, they are evacuated to suitable place at the test. In this, we are combining three questions about that. First, where is the test location they choose? And the route distance from their original location to the test. This is a mapping area and choosing how to evacuate this about from the disaster. And then the last one is who takes the invite using evacuation booth and temporary evacuation shelter during the evacuation process. This is the main topic in the one section. Next, and the next, okay. And the second is the understanding of the tsunami evacuation to temporary evacuation shelter after disaster. Yes, there are two kind of the questions about that. Based on the four-answer group, this research will conclude the level of understanding the survivor about tests, whether they can identify suitable tests or not. If they choose A or C, if the item that are understood to save the self to the test. Yeah, it is a very simple research, but it's very deeply researched, I think. Okay. We can next. Okay. And this is a result. We can explain about the blue diamond and the green tick in our research. Next. The first question to answer the respondent. We said, do they understand the location related to the tsunami prone area to carry out the tsunami evacuation process? This is the first question. Is the answer, our respondent, we are take 100% is 76 respondent, 100% survivor respondent understand the danger that threaten their location. This 100% is about that. All survivors have understood that their location was a tsunami-prone area during the 2018 earthquake. Other than the information, the map show the exact location is in the tsunami-prone area. This is a good result about all the people or the respondent. This very now about disaster. Understand about the location of the disaster. Understanding the danger of the tsunami become a basic knowledge of the Palu people because of the historical factor of tsunami disaster repeatedly. Jadi ini sangat penting kalau dia tahu dengan ilmunya, dia paham secara berulang, itu sangat baik sekali. Ya. This result is excellent because the knowledge is the basis for taking essential action at the critical time. Dan ini memberikan informasi yang sangat baik. Next. And the second question, are they evacuated to the suitable place or test? Ada 3 pertanyaan yang dimunculkan. Pertama, first, the test location they need standard. Tanya, apakah memenuhi standar? Out of respondent, 76 respondent, 73 managed to evacuate. This is very good. Due to confusion, and 3 survivors did not have time to evacuate and stay at home. Jadi ada 3 yang bilang saya tidak kemana-mana waktu tsunami, cuma di rumah. Tapi ada 73 yang bisa encourage dirinya untuk menyelamatkan. 70 minutes evacuate to convention. This result confirmed that although 3 survivors failed to evacuate, most respondents perform their self-rescue process to the suitable test. And this is the second information about how to manage or how to lead the test area. This is you can see in the video behind me. The test, the red as diamond is the origin point. The respondent, and the green thing is how to go to the test area, but it's not the specifically test area from the government, but this is now the high building and the high place and the other is go. Yes, okay. Next, okay. And the second part, but the second question about the area of evacuate. The route distance from the original location. This is about the evacuation route. Yes. This is a very interesting result about that. The majority of the survivor respondent, 48%, choose to move very far from the coastline. Jadi this moves very far away from the coastline. Jadi ada 48 yang meninggalkan tempat coastline sangat jauh, ya. 6% or 3 people stay at home. Before he stay at home. And only 11% of 6 people manage to move to the near shelter. Jadi ada 11% saja itu. Not more than 500 meters. And the other is maybe more than 3 kilometers. And but the other only 500 meters to move. The other 20% move more than 500 meters to 1 kilometer. This only 20%. And 5% move more than to the 3 kilometers to roam about the self-area. And then the 48% travel more than 3 kilometers, the majority using the bicycle. Jadi banyak yang menggunakan kendaraan. Yeah. Furthermore, the others of the reach 1 kilometer are mainly running on the foot. Sementara yang 500 dan 1 meter hanya berlari. While the distance 1 or 2 kilometer makes system survival with hazel or on foot. This is facing about the hazel on foot. At the time of the disaster, hazel long distance trade hampered the evacuation process for test driving. The majority who drive the car obstacle to moving further. Another is hindering the mesh to roads due to earthquake. I think this is the problem is move with the bicycle, atau dengan kendaraan. On the other hand, survive who evacuate on foot have the time and speed varying to the near steps. This is more important information. We may be important to give test in the coastal line. It's more than 500 meters to evacuate the people or the community. This is my point about that. Okay, next. And the next question about that, who takes the initiative using evacuation routes and temporary evacuation shelter to test during the evacuation process? Who takes the initiative? Siapa yang mempunyai inisiatif ditanya pada waktu itu, ya? Taking the right initiative in the disaster emergency becomes the crucial case. The study found there are 84% or 64 people of the survival could take the initiative or initiation in group appropriately. Yes, this result is encouraged because the process can speed up the time for the self-rescue. Jadi masih beruntung ada 84% yang punya inisiatif untuk melakukan itu. Ya. On the other hand, 12% of the survivors are followed all fast-moving group. Jadi ada 12 yang mengikuti dari The lack of follower is good sign for the understand of the evacuation process. Ini juga menjadi catatan penting di dalam pelaksanaan penelitian ini. Next. And the section B, we question about if allowed to reselect the test location, what would I respond? This is after disaster, because before is during disaster. Now after disaster, we ask the respondent. We question the article. After 2018 is the result. Respondent increasingly understood the process of self-rescue. One third, jadi ada sepertiganya. 1/3 respondent, 25 people, say they would move to the different after and safer test if allowing the choosing during. Jadi ada yang sepertiganya menyatakan kalau terjadi bencana lagi, dia akan mencari tempat yang tidak seperti sekarang dia tempat. Seperti itu. Ya. Another 33% atau 24 people continue to use the test they choose early because it was safe enough. Dan ada yang 33 menyatakan tempat yang saya pergikan sudah cukup aman dan cukup tinggi. For different reason, as emotional reason, for the some disaster related, 27 respondents did not want to answer the question. Ya. Jadi ada yang memang sudah ketakutan tidak mau menjawab. Dia bilang jangan lagi ada bencana, itu saja. 27 orang bilang jangan ada bencana. Setelah ditanyakan, from existing answer, the majority of the survivor had a good understanding the evacuation process. Jadi pada dasarnya mereka sangat mengerti kemana harus menyelamatkan diri tempatnya. Next, okay, is one before a conclusion about our research. After review the research section B after tsunami, after earthquake. After reviewing the test location, mencari lokasinya of the respondent choice on the map, our respondent beyond 27% respondent who refused the answer were able to choose and test that was saved from the tsunami in the form of tall buildings with suitable structure, as well as its open space with a height enough from sea level. Jadi begitu ditanyakan, pada prinsipnya karena kita belum punya tes sebagaimana yang dilihatkan pada sumber pusaka tadi, apa itu tes, mereka lagi mencari gedung-gedung yang tinggi atau tempat yang tinggi. Itu pada prinsipnya kalau ditanyakan kemana. Itu hal yang penting. Dari penelitian, there are more conclusion about our research. The research successfully understand the understanding and behavior of survivor itself rescued during the 2018 tsunami disaster. Some important points that are key of the rescue process such as like this one. First, an understanding of the location of tsunami disaster is very high in the community due to the recurring history of the region, as well as the new tsunami disaster that hit other area such as Aceh, Tohoku, and Padang. Jadi perlu disiapkan. Jadi pada tinggal mereka mencari tempat ini, tapi perlu kita melihat seperti kejadian di Aceh, Tohoku, dan Padang. The process of the rescue at the location of the temporary evacuation shelter can also be understood by the community represented by the respondent. Jadi kita bersyukur bahwa pada dasarnya responden yang kita tanya itu mengerti dia bahwa dia harus mau menyelamatkan diri dari keberadaan tsunami itu sendiri. The majority of respondents, especially the represented disaster, have also understood the need for adequate shelter at the temporary evacuation shelter. Jadi membutuhkan memang tempat sebagai temporary evacuation. Jadi perlu ini tempatnya. Yang ada selama ini kita hanya sebagai tempat akhir dari evakuasi. Lanjut, conclusion selanjutnya. The problem that arise an additional note, the lack of temporary evacuation shelter location in the tsunami prone area. This is important. The problem. Moreover, with the brief period recorded less than 4 minutes after the earthquake, the tsunami, the coastal area, the reachable Jadi kita sebenarnya membutuhkan temporary atau tes ini pada lokasi-lokasi yang dari coastal area, the nearby coastal area, not more than 5 minutes by foot to route evacuate. I think this is more important. Yeah? Maybe we can see now in the mapping, this is a zone, red zone area. This is an important one to test location. And then the test location in the tsunami prone should consider security factor, especially the building structure and building height. Jadi dua hal yang penting, penempatan intinya tes itu sendiri adalah kekuatan bangunannya dan kedua ketinggian yang berdasarkan tadi paleo tsunami yang terjadi. This temporary evacuation shelter should be directed to considering walking, this is one, running time during a tsunami, not the FATEK, but the walking on running by tsunami. Next. The next conclusion, another critical note during the research process, the government understanding of test has not considered tsunami disaster characters. I think this is one point we can approve the recommendation for the government about this, which now about the test, about the fast or center. We can different about two kind of the temporary or settlement or shelter of the tsunami. Test and understanding is also mixed with the final evacuation center. It can mix different from the final evacuation center, which should accommodate refugees for the more extreme period. I think the use of the tsunami test only take smaller space. Yes, the use of tsunami test only take a smaller place to stand crane for the few minutes until seawater recedes. but the number of tsunami tests must distribute evenly across the area in order to be visible as soon as possible. Jadi yang saya bilang tadi bahwa tes ini memang harus ditempatkan di beberapa tempat pada zona-zona merah dan dekat dari coastal area agar mudah dicapai, tidak lebih dari 4 menit. Dan ini sampai sekarang kita menjadi rekomendasi bagi pemerintah kita agar dapat studi ini. Mungkin the next study adalah menentukan tempat di mana cocok tes tersebut. Next, this is the last conclusion. This research is that we can continue the research how to give identity ideal test location. This is now only to know about the preparation or for the respondent how to know about the test area. I think this is enough for my presentation. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much to Professor Amar. I think we just listened a very interesting presentation from him. So once again, I ask to clap hand for him. But let me give outline conclusion, even though you have given also conclusion. But as a moderator, I have also to give outline conclusion. Firstly, that his presentation is based on his research, and according to him, that it is very important to identify the readiness of the community, especially on selecting the temporary evacuation shelter based on case in Palu 2018 tsunami. Secondly, Mr. Professor mentioned that the test for the TAS for tsunami are building which should be strong structure that can withstand earthquake and have higher floors that can withstand flood levels above tsunami level and must be placed in disaster-prone areas so that the people can easily access. Yes, Professor? And also, Mr. Professor is mentioned some of disasters that have been occurring in our region in Palu. Firstly, in Watusaku earthquake, which is occurred in December 1st, 1927. Secondly, Donggala earthquake on May 20 in 1938. And Tambu Mepanga earthquake on August 15 in 1968. And also Tonggolo Bibi earthquake on January 1st in 1996, and the last that we together face a very what do you call it, big earthquake. This is Palu earthquake, which is occurred on September 28, 2018. I believe, ladies and gentlemen, that should be some important interesting point that we can discuss together, and for that I ask all of you to gather this to give question or to be discussed together with Professor. And for the first session, I open for 2 persons. Okay, yeah, Mr. Dean of Engineering Faculty, Mr. Dr. Rustin.
Thank you very much. This is very interesting presentation. Regarding to the tsunami evacuation shelter, I see some questionnaire that delivered to the people about the effectiveness of the test. Some question that I want to ask. Firstly, we stay in the city, you know. It is difficult to educate the people for the tsunami evacuation road. Because you know that the people of the city is mobile. There is sometimes move to other city and other people come to our city. Also we have new birth and also the tsunami is a long period disaster. So people will not consider the disaster because very long disaster. Different with the flood. Flood maybe you will get flood every 2 hours, 5 years, 2 years, and people easily to adapt the flood. But tsunami is quite difficult, especially how to educate people because the level of people knowledge is different. Maybe in the big city, it's easy to educate people about the temporary evacuation shelter. But people in the village or remote area, I think it's quite difficult. So there is a lot of obstacle to use this temporary evacuation shelter. So I think it is better if we educate openly, very open to the people. So my question, there is some example of the temporary evacuation shelter that had been used or has been used for some tsunami. Especially also, you know, that some regulation about the shelter, like people sometimes they just go to the shelter, they bring some goods, you know. Maybe it will make the evacuation become difficult, and also after the earthquake, some roads are damaged. Also, we have a ruin in the road, so also we will have some obstacle to evacuate people. So I think that is also need to be considered in the designing temporary evacuation center. I think that's all my comment and question. Maybe Mr. Professor Amar had comment or answer about that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Dean. So the idea is it's difficult because we have our people with has level difference of knowledge and also it's coming from different areas. So how your comment about this question? Second one, Mr. Fuad. Yeah. Fuad first. After this, Mr. Rudy.
Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Very interesting material. Maybe I have a simple question about the temporary evacuation shelter test. How much the influence of the test to minimize the victim of disaster? If
how much? I'm sorry. How much
influence pengaruh to minimize the victim of the disaster? Thank you.
To get the point, Professor. I think enough for this session, first session. We listen to Mr. Professor to answer, and after this we open again second session. Okay.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dean. I think it's because Mr. Dean is the same with us to research about the coastal area. Yes, and this is there are problem, especially for the education. I know there are maybe some area they are moving people. These are different people of the long periods of the tsunami. I think the educated for people, not only in the Palu coastal Bay area. This is, I think, we continuing about the information about the test, especially. In the regularity of the government till now, it's not enough to give direct information about, especially for the test. Sometimes only on the fast, finally the question shelter. We can see that. Not only test, we can see about the early warning system. This is very, very far from the sea coastal area. These are the Susu or the common word. This is a very, very far from the seaside or coastal people. This is important. I don't know. This is maybe the people are sometimes moving more, maybe up to 20 years, 10 years. Is the change the people or the other, and this must give again to educate them. And then I think it's important for our government or our institution, like in Japan maybe or Switzerland is the same of the earthquake or the disaster hazard. They are continuing to give information to our people, our community, not continuing, not to stop only 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, but continue there. But it's sometimes in television and the radio or the other and media social to give them. And then who to move to here, he can send. And then I think they are not only Palu, they are all Indonesian, I think. The risk of the ring of fire, the disaster, we can continue about the education, especially for the like the tsunami, evacuate, route and other. This is maybe very important. About the test is I said before, maybe he's just mastermind for our brain, our mind about this one. But because I see like if we can take a pen, I can. Every I can take a pen, you can must to give your information about how to raise food and like that. I think this is the same for our people. If what I want to say this is make me to habit. Yes, make me to habit about the information test. I think this is very important. And the second maybe to deal about the test. How to effectively, maybe in from what to influence the best one of our research before, especially for the respondent who respected by the people in Palu. He's know about the test, but he's no test like this one. Only he's like, this is the high building, this is the high place, not like this, our recommendation building of the specialty for the test. Yes. This is very influence for our community. In the first question before, 100% understood about how to evacuate itself before. And then he didn't know, well, where is the place is a good one now, and how to the route, the best route how to the evacuated place. I think this is main point. Our research. Alhamdulillah, all respondents said, yeah, this is a very important. This is very here, but I think this is main point to give approval to our government maybe, yes, or our institution to make this continually give information about especially the cases. Maybe I think this is
Mr. Dean and Mr. Fuad, is there any question? Thank you so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, we open the second session, and Mr. Rudy is already raise his hand before this, and after this, the cadre of Informatica, new cadre of Informatica. Okay, time is yours, Mr. Rudi.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. I very interested with the presentation of our keynote speaker related to the earthquake in Palu, because all of citizens in Palu have the same experience with the what you talked before. Like my experience, I just go to the shelter only 20 meters from of my house. But some of question I will ask you. Firstly, you not mention the knowledge of the people where they should go, because some of people don't know where they must go. They just follow like the flow where they go. If they see somebody go to the mountain, they go to the mountain. And the second question is, you not mention the area of the higher tsunami, because if you have already mentioned that the level of tsunami is around 10 meters, so we can make a mapping that the area of Samratulangi Street is already green zone. It means that if we in that place, we will not get the tsunami anymore. So I think the best way is to mention the location, the safety zone. The shelter is the second way, because right now we don't have shelter of tsunami, temporary shelter. After the earthquake or after the tsunami, then after the government make the shelter temporary. So the best way is to mention the location of the green zone where we should go. Then that is the very safe for us. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Rudy has two questions. You get the point, Professor? Okay. And Mr. Kajur of Informatica.
Thank you very much. I appreciate and interesting for this research. I have one question for this presentation. In domain informatics, what models and data structure in
Can you repeat, please? Mr.
Yeah. In domain informatics, domain informatics. Yeah, domain informatics for this research. What model and data structure in the research used in the research? One question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay. What is the model of hydroinformatics engineering in? Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for your appreciation for me, Mr. Woody. These are the two questions about that. I think this is a connected section about the mention of the how to must they go to people, and then how we make a mapping about the tsunami level area in the coastal bay. I think yes. I think this is the aim of our research now. Yes. In our prison is very clearly to the other respondent. Give me information about if the tsunami, especially for earthquake tsunami, where is it going? One of the things for the people is to go to the high places, high places. Yes, like it's the building maybe, by or the places made the mountain or the other. Yes, I think this is the main point for the mind in our respondent. But sometimes this is very difficult to understand because it's maybe the evacuation route is very far. Yes, maybe with more than 500 meters, 1 kilometer. This is very dangerous because tsunami come only maybe 10 minutes. Yeah, within minutes. This is very fast, and then we must to take a safe location, especially the Kabul temporary. This is our research footage out of that. How to give a recommendation where is the location of the test. Yes, this is very important because if the very higher tsunami come, or maybe you can say more than 20 meter, maybe the base, yeah, more than, not that, like just over 6 meters tsunami is come here. Before, our history say tsunami is come is 16 meters. 16 meters, yes, before, in Halloween, before, yes. You can see the face of the car in the Boko Hotel, yeah, the Mercure Hotel. Yes, this is the phenomenon of the tsunami. We and Mr. Dean, before his the first research before, when we to give explanation in the international conference in Kanazawa before, this is a very, very impressive for the other respondent. Okay. This is a main point, but how to make, and then but is the important one is the highly and the strongly structure about that. This is, I know the connecting what the new head department of informatics, yes, Mr. Yazdi. I think this is maybe we can combine with our research after that, yeah, to how to make a model to the shelter, that not only under the building, but how to give reduce or the yeah, I think the place of the test. This is. Thank you very much for your maybe in this next future of the research, we can combine it with about what's the model of the shelter. In this now only to identify how to people knowledge how they to evacuate itself than the other, and then maybe we can take the model of the where is the good places of the shelter. We combine with the informatic system. I think maybe until now we cannot to prepare about that, but inshallah good willing maybe we combine with the other the next research. Thank you very much for you all. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Mr. Professor, we have still time 15 minutes to 12. You still ready to answer questions? Or any one of you want to ask a new question? Raise your hand. Yeah. Well, please mention your name, your position. Oh, yes, you can also ask in Indonesian, and we will respond in English. Okay. Okay. Please mention your name, please.
Thank you, moderator. Respected presenter as well as his presentation. I'm Agus Lanini from Faculty of Law, Tadulako University. I would like to speak in Bahasa. Sorry, because this is my root Indonesia. So, Profesor, saya mau membandingkan antara shelter temporary ini dengan program pemerintah yang mencanangkan membendung Teluk Palu. Apakah ini bisa berjalan paralel antara program pemerintah yang sementara berjalan sekarang dengan shelter yang diajukan ini? Yang kedua yaitu mengenai zona rawan bencana. Apakah ini juga bisa sejalan dengan tes ini? Gitu. Sementara kita ketahui bahwa sonasi ini akan mengarahkan. Saya kira keduanya juga merupakan mitigasi ya. Tes ini juga mitigasi. Bendungan juga itu mitigasi, dan sonasi ini juga pastinya mitigasi. Nah, tentu Prof sudah banyak mengkaji tentang perbandingan antara ketiganya ini. Kira-kira apakah sejalan atau sejauh mana dia bisa sejalan atau bahkan bisa saling bertolak belakang gitu. Demikian.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Agus Landini from Law Faculty. So I think you get the point, yeah?
No problem. We can combine Indonesia and English. Thank you for Agus Landini. This is a good question, I think, about to compare about the test and how they feel about the seawall and brickwater or seawall. Yes, it's our research, and Mr. Dean before his how to there are many research about that, about to modeling about the seawall. Yes, I think the two questions about that is very connected one. I think there we can do it parallel together about the test location. Maybe you take him in the red zone. This is because it's a very close, with not more than 3 minutes or 4 minutes to access the people to the test. The temporary. You're right. The test red zone area and the seawall is the same of the mitigation of the earthquake. I think. Yes. The seawall, I think, is the first step to mitigation, to break the water, the range of the tsunami water, I think. And then test is the second step, I think, after that. But when he's here information about early warning system about the tsunami come, we not only to take in the seawall, but we must to first move to the test quickly, I think. Especially for the red zone, I think. This is the rule of the government, especially for the spatial planning, about the disaster planning. And this is to clue about the location disaster. And this is test we can take in the red zone, the red zone of the coastal by especially for tsunami, and the breakwater or the seawall is the first step to mitigate the tsunami. I think this your opinion is a good one, but there are three kind of the point here about the test, about the seawall, and about the zone area or red zone area is the same combination about the mitigation about the hazard from disaster. And then we can, that is parallel to the three kind of the mitigation main point, I think. Thank you very much.
I think all of the question is already answered by our professor. And time now is approaching to 12, so I think we close our presentation this time. So I ask you one more time to clap hand for our professor.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Now I think time for getting lunch, because we already hungry, and after that we go for pay. So much, yeah. Where is the board? The board of this meeting. I think it's enough from us. I close this presentation with Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Kasihan, kasihan.